Hello everybody, how are you? Hope you're okay. This is my home network and I'm about to do a tour of it because I've just placed an order for some new kit and some patch panels that have long been needed. So I thought I'd show you all about it. We've got rack number 1 here, and then in the garage, rack number 2. I don't know if I'll show you rack number 3, but we've got a third rack. There's loads of stuff going on. I'm going to show you all of it. So let's get into a deep dive of the network rack. So I think the best thing to do is start at the top. So very at the top, which you can just see, I've got a Netgear switch. This is a managed switch. It's a bit of a mess, let's be honest. This is one of those things where you sort of throw the equipment in and you're like, yeah, I've got this bit, I've got to get this doing, I've got to do this. Oh, now I've got to fix this. And it ends up like this. I don't know how well you can see back there. The cables are a disaster. But yeah, so up here we've got the Netgear switch. This was originally going to have all of the sort of network points that we've got in the house, but they kind of just ended up down here, and now it's just got like 4 things on it. There's a bunch of cables coming in here. These all come from a hole in the ceiling, and there's another hole in the wall down here that I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, so coming down from that, we've then got the UniFi UNVR Pro, something like that. The UNVR, that's what it's called, Pro. This is the UniFi Protect camera system. So we have getting on for about 45 cameras now. There are some videos that you can find on my channel about my camera setup. I'll probably do another one soon. But yeah, we've got about 45 cameras here. And then below that, we're still using the old USG. I got one here. It has got a problem though. So this USG, it does appear to randomly reboot or crash or something. I don't know. Every now and again it just stops working and it fixes itself after like 5 seconds. So I never get in here in time to know what's wrong with it. And then below that I've got 2 24-port UniFi switches, but then below that we've just got a ProSafe Netgear switch, 48-port, non-PoE. So all of the PoE stuff goes here. So that covers all of the access points. Got about 10 or so of them splattered around the house. Not all of them come back to here. Some of them go back to our other distributions. Like there's a distribution in the garden, which is miles away. And there's a distribution by our hot tub outdoor cinema setup. That powers the access point there and a few of the cameras there. Nothing goes into the garage. The garage is purely, it's running USGs. There's a load of USGs down there that are running as servers. I got a load of spare ones, really cheap. So they're all running as servers. I'll show you that. Of course, cameras come back to here. And then we have some more PoE devices, such as we've got a point-to-point bridge between here and the local community centre to provide some networking capabilities over there. Coming down here, we now have the 2 Mac Mini. So this is the primary network rack. As you can see, I've covered up the IP address that it's using publicly. So we have Virgin Media Business Internet, so we get 13 static IP addresses, and they are great. They come in via an ONT that's down here. I'll show you down there in a minute. But yeah, so on here we run all the stuff. I mainly run PHP and Node.js. This is running all of the web stuff, like my website, all of that, all my mail servers, all of that sort of stuff. All of our public services run on this server. And then this one here, which is the core smart home system, runs all of the custom smart home that I've built. So we do have down here that we'll get to some Hubitat and some Hue, but all of that actually goes through this as logic. This is the logic brains of the system. The entire smart home is custom built. I want to say there's a video about it. There might not be. If there is interest in a video about that, do leave it below and I will do one. But yeah, so then coming down below that, we have the UniFi Cloud Key. We don't use this as the Cloud Key. The Cloud Key's running up there. I'm about to move to the new UniFi MSG system, so we'll be moving to that soon. So there might be a few videos about that. And then I have the Edge Router Max. This is the Edge Router Max. We have this because we have 13 static IP addresses. Originally, this would only support 1. And down here, we have something called SkyQ. SkyQ is a TV service here in the UK. And let me tell you, it hates the guts out of UniFi. It is a disaster. So all of the SkyQ stuff, we have 3 boxes. So we have like a main box, a mini box, and another mini box. They all sit here, and none of them talk to any of the UniFi stuff. They all go through the Netgear, and even if they're distributed, they still have to go through Netgear routing. So we have our own dedicated links from here that do that. That way they work. Otherwise, I don't know what it is about the UniFi gear, but they just don't like it. I'm guessing it's something to do with the spamming tree. That'd be my guess. And custom network routing. When we're using the app on our phones, so they have the Sky Go app. It don't go out of the network, but it works fine over this. Now I've brought you down a little bit. This is where we've got a bit more space. So this is our modem. This is coming in from Virgin Media with the ONT in there. Then we have this, which is the Ubiquiti Amplify. This is designed to do Wi-Fi and routing, and you're probably thinking, why have we got this? Well, because we have the home teleport device. Back when teleport used to be a physical feature set. They used to have a physical thing that you could take on holiday with you that is like a hotel router that routes you back here. So that's why we have this. It's in bridge mode, it's connected behind our main subnet, and we use that with this, and it works really, really well, I'm not gonna lie. Next to that here, we have some DAS, or direct attached storage. So this is our 3 main storage hard drives. These are connected to there. I should probably move these into a NAS, but that's a story for another day, because I'm not really using them as a NAS. They're not shared over the network. They're literally on here, and there's lots of read and write stuff going on. So I might look at that. So now we've come further down. This is where the smart home sort of stuff lives. So I've got the Hubitat hub. This is just using its antennas to connect to Zigbee and Z-Wave. And then I have 2 Hue hubs. We have 2 Hue hubs because there's a limit to the amount of devices you can have on any one Hue hub, and we exceed that. And then we have the Trad Fry. This is for the IKEA blinds, but this is all talking back to that smart home system there. And back here, back there, I'm not sure if you could see it, is a Sonos Connect. This is connected to an Airport Extreme, which is over there. I won't get it out, but that essentially does AirPlay, so we can AirPlay to it and do that. But we are now using Air Connect. If you're interested in that, it allows you to AirPlay directly to any Sonos in the house. I do have a video about how I installed that, because I recently moved it between the 2 servers, and I filmed that. And then coming down is just a bit of storage, and now we're at the bottom of the rack. So we've got the 2 mini boxes for Sky. So these essentially connect to TVs, and they connect back to this main box, which actually does all the storage and the recording. And then we've got an Apple TV here. This Apple TV is connected to this TV. These minis is for one for up here, and then one for downstairs, and then this is mine. This is my TV box, so I have one of those Samsung smart TVs with the Connect boxes, and then we've got another Connect box here for the frame TV, which is up there. Power distribution and UPS. The UPS, I modified the UPS and I put the batteries in the garage. So it's got like massive car batteries, and actually it works really well. It doesn't really know how much charge it's got, but it works really well. So this is the side of the network rack, and I just thought I'd show you the ONT. So this is where the fiber line comes in. There's a load of fiber up there, and that just comes in there, then comes out as coax to go into the back of this. I have the ULTE, which is the like LTE device that allows it to connect to as a backup. And to be fair, that gets used a bit. As you can see, it's got 130 meg on it for this month, which is, and it's something like the 4th of the month now. Then we've got power distribution. So this is where all the power comes in, and it just goes down there into the UPS. That's all of the networking equipment we've got here upstairs in what we call the server room. It's not really the server room, it's mainly my office, but it's the server room nonetheless. Lovely and cool. We've got big air conditioning unit. Kind of falling off the wall, but hey, that's a different problem. Let me take you downstairs into the garage and show you all of that. So I'm now in the garage. As you can see, the network rack is up high. I haven't got the key, so we'll have to leave it shut. This is what we got down here. So down here, we've got some USGs. Of course, if you're interested in how I installed this, it went disastrously wrong. It's really heavy. There's a video about that, and it's fucking funny. But yeah, so we've got 2 USGs. These are running some PHP servers and some Node.js servers. They've been modified using some custom firmware that I've built to run on them that allows me to do whatever I want with them. I'm no longer using them as routers. As you can see, they've only got 1 network link each. And then above that, we've got an amplifier. And this amplifier is for the outdoor projector setup with our 200-inch projector screen, all that sort of stuff. It's absolutely crazy. And then, of course, we've got the Connect amp. No, just the Connect that goes into that. Somewhere up there, there is a network switch, probably over there. It's just a dumb Netgear switch because we're not doing anything smart down here. All of these are on the same VLAN, all of that sort of stuff. That's kind of about it. There's a bit of power distribution in there, as you can see, and stuff for the smart doors. So there's a door here and there's a door there, and they all have custom smarts on them, like mag locks and door access using your phone and all that sort of stuff. So that's just getting power from in here. But yeah, that's kind of this. So thank you for watching, and if you've got this far, thank you for staying till the end. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, if you've got comments on how I might tidy this up, what you want me to improve, all that sort of stuff, leave them down below. And well, if you have enjoyed this video, go watch a different video. There are lots of other videos on the channel that you might enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.